Welcome students. We are again coming to our discussion on calculation of cost of capital. Already we have solved and discussed a lot about the cost of debt capital. Debt capital we have mentioned is a capital that we have taken on loan from public or from bank. This money carries interest which is eligible for deduction under Income Tax Act. That is why the debt capital has lowest cost of capital among the others. All types of formulas with complications are discussed and problems are also interpreted accordingly. Today we are giving you a brief idea about the preference share capital's cost of capital determination. So we are presenting or we are explaining it at this lecture with the help of notes that we have uploaded. In the next class, we will interpret it with the help of PowerPoint presentations. So now, just for theoretical discussion, let us consider the cost of preference share capital. The basic difference between cost of debt capital and cost of preference share capital is that debt capital is a loan, but preference share capital is a share. As a shareholder, they are not getting any interest. Since they are shareholder, they are eligible to get a portion of the profit earned, which is called dividend. In fact, when preference shares are issued, the dividend date is specified in the preference share capital certificate, and whenever the dividend is paid, first preference shareholder will receive the dividend according to the rate prescribed in the preference share capital certificate. Then, if anything is left, that will be distributed among the equity shareholder. Due to this preferential right of the share capital over equity holders, it is known as preference share capital. Now, it is more risky in comparison with debt capital because here the dividend is payable only when the profit is earned. Also, it is payable if sufficient liquidity is there, and at the same time, we have to see whether the fund is internally required for investment or not. Thus, the uncertainty of getting the preference dividend is very high, which is not for debt capital where interest rate is fixed and payable even the company is making loss. So there lies the difference between preference share capital and debt capital, which also causes the variation in the cost of debt capital and cost of preference share capital calculation. Another point you have to remember in case of preference share capital, in preference share capital, we are paying dividend, which is a part of the profit. So whatever we are paying as dividend, which is a part of the profit, that cannot be considered as an eligible expenditure under Income Tax Act. So we will not deduct the dividend paid to preference shareholder at the time of calculating taxable income. Hence, no benefit is available on dividend paid by the company. So that makes the preference share capital costly. So preference share capital cost of capital is high in comparison with debt capital, mainly due to two reasons. Number one, the rate is uncertain, and number two, no tax-free benefit is available. So this is the basic difference. On the basis of this difference, let us see how the calculations are made. The calculations are made always on the basis of the same technique that we have discussed in case of debt capital. We have mentioned that you have to ascertain how much return a preference shareholder will get in future by holding the preference share capital. So we are assuming that the dividend rate that has been stated in the preference share capital will be received by the preference shareholder, and this rate is, if calculated, will make the dividend per year rupees T. So what we will do, we will calculate the present value of the dividend receivable by the preference shareholder during its lifetime. And in calculating the present value, you have to use the cost of debt capital as discounting rate, which is not yet known. And the logic is the cost, the total present value of the dividend receivable from preference share capital will be at par with the value of the preference share capital at time zero. Value of the preference share capital means the value or price at which the preference share capital is traded in the market. If this rate is not available, then we will consider that the uh, nominal value of the preference share capital in place of value of the preference share capital. Now look at the formula that we have mentioned here. We have used some symbols. First symbol is dividend payable by the firm at each period, which is D rupees. Then second symbol is value of preference share, which is VP. Third one is cost of preference share, which is KP. And then maturity period of preference share, which is N. Therefore, applying this particular concept, we can say that value of the preference share is the sum of the present value of the dividend, that is D by 1 plus Kp plus D by 1 plus Kp squared to D by 1 plus Kp to the power n. Now for generalizing the formula, like cost of debt capital, we will assume that the maturity period is infinity. That means in place of n, we have to substitute infinity. Then right hand side will be a GP summation series with infinite life. This is shown here. So now our series becomes Vp is equal to d by 1 plus Kp plus d by 1 plus Kp square plus up to infinity. So right hand side is a Gp series, infinity series with first term d by 1 plus Kp, common ratio 1 by 1 plus Kp. So we are applying on the right hand side the summation formula of A divided by 1 minus common ratio. So A means first term. So in place of A, we have written d by 1 plus Kp, and in the denominator, it is 1 minus B. So 1 minus B, B is the common ratio, which is 1 by 1 plus Kp. So by applying this formula and solving it, we are ultimately getting Vp is equal to d by Kp. It means that if we change the side, then the formula becomes Kp, that means cost of preference share capital is equal to d by Vp. So in place of Vp, you apply the price and then you will get the result. So this is the simplest formula that we will use, and this formula is very much similar to the cost of debt capital where tax is assumed nil. In that case, our formula was KD is equal to I by P. I means interest amount payable. Just in place of I, we have substituted D, and in place of cost of debt capital KD, we have substituted KP. So this is our formula number one. On the basis of this formula, in subsequent discussion, we will show you one problem and then we will add some complications to make the formula more effective. So that's all for this lecture. Thank you.